and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I bring you the greatest hour of your week. It's the Richie and Hazz Show. I'm Brent Hazard. Richard Schwartz is out and about. We're doing an early edition due to the ice and the weather, so we're coming at you approximately 2:13, 13 minutes past the hour. Some people were late. We won't name names. But I'm joined by Mike Gatling. Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Brent. How are you?
I'm miserable as usual. It's cold and I have water issues. I live in Jackson. And the legend, Randy Wildman Brown. Randy, how are you, sir?
I was talking to you, baby. No, I had to. I couldn't resist it. But I'm doing fine, Brent. And I thank you for having me on the show today.
Oh, you can thank me now, but you won't after the show. I promise you that. And then we're always joined by our beautiful producer, Dr. J. Dr. J, how are you?
Better than blessed, as always.
That's not what you said before the show. But anyway, moving on. Let's get into ice shutting down Mississippi Metro. Mike, tell me what's the worst thing that's happened to you since were you prepared for the severity of the ice storm? Are we calling it an ice storm? What are we calling it?
Snowpocalypse, yeah, of course.
I don't know if it's snowpocalypse.
Yeah.
Did y'all get the ice storm in 91 in Jackson? Did y'all get any of that?
94.
94.
Yeah.
It took out the Delta. It
Yes.
literally took it out. And it was weird. It was like 60 degrees one day, and then the ice tore down all these trees, but there was no ice really on the roads.
Yeah, that's definitely going on right now, Brent. Similar situation.
It was not that severe, but it's
No, it's
bad.
not that severe. I agree with you.
Okay. But did y'all get any of that in 94?
Yes, we did.
Okay. But anyway, Mike, worst thing that's happened. Were you prepared?
Not really. I mean, I think the worst thing was the kids being out of school again, and
You don't like your kids?
love my kids.
Okay, I'm just clarifying on the record.
I got one that needs some medication.
Okay.
We ran out in the middle of the week. I'd like to share his exercise program if anybody wants to lose some weight. He's got it. He's hyper, but other than that, everything's okay. I got a 4-wheel drive, so it makes it easier. So.
But Randy, worst thing.
Worst thing is driving and water and electricity, because so many people in certain areas are without power. Matter of fact, I have a brother-in-law. That's one of his dilemmas right now. He stayed down in the Raymond Road area near Highland Drive, and it's been practically 3 days. And water pressure. Now, they say water pressure. We have water problems, definitely apparent indeed, because of what's happening. But if you pay attention to the news, no one is covering the story of where the actual work is going on, that they're making water repairs. And another thing, most of our Brent, I like to bring to everyone's attention is that I feel that our elected officials, they need to focus on the development of better constituent services department, because it's been real poor. People are without water, electricity, and no one's actually giving proper information how to deal with this particular matter at hand.
Is any of that shocking, though, Randy?
Man, it's over shocking.
No, it's not.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
Randy,
Yes,
if
it
they
is.
came out and knew what was going on, you would be shocked.
If they came out,
And knew what was going on. If the city of Jackson, okay, if you had to bet, okay,
if I had to bet.
and this is the way we do it in
Okay,
Greenville.
we're doing a hypothetical now.
Now,
Okay.
now, Mike's from Cleveland, so he can't really claim Greenville.
Okay.
But if you had to bet a finger,
Okay.
and here's your choices: the city of Jackson handled this, or they handled it poorly. And which hand are you? Left hand.
Well,
No. Which hand are you? Which finger? Are we?
I'm right-handed.
Okay, so we're index of your right finger. You're betting it. Yes. Which one are you betting on? That they would handle this situation well before it happened? Would you bet your index finger on your right hand that they handled it well or poorly? Which bet are you making?
Before it happened.
Before it happened.
Before it happened, I'd say I would have to say poorly, Brent.
Of course. You'd be a fool to say they're gonna handle it well.
Poorly.
Mike, which finger you betting?
Duh.
That one, right index. I mean, I'd bet a pinky personally, but y'all throwing up index. But which way would you bet?
Poorly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, so it's not a shock that they're not prepared.
I got a finger phone.
I mean, isn't this supposed to be some sort of a church-based platform there, Dr. J? You know what they say, you can't make certain things into a wife. You ever hear that slogan? I forget the first word, Dr. J. What was that? I don't know. It slipped my mind.
I have never heard that before.
I don't know
Grief,
either.
Brent.
I've heard some TikTok thing. Well, she just flipped me off.
No, I did.
I got a finger
asked
for
a
you.
Finger.
Well, Dr. J, what's the worst thing you've experienced in the winter storm? What are we calling it? Does it have a name? Are we just calling it the storm?
Didn't it start with an E? Didn't it have a name for it? A storm name? Like Eden or
We
something
can
like
give
that?
her a name.
Well, I mean,
Edwina.
it's not Snowpocalypse because that was up in New York, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I thought they had a storm name.
What
I thought
Edwina
E
do you
started
know
with an E?
that you hate?
Maybe.
I'm not-
Maybe.
Why your glasses fogging up?
Because I'm wearing a mask. I'm trying to help some people around here. Trying to be responsible. Oh, you think it's because I'm mad at you because my producer flipped me off? I'm used to people not liking me, Dr. J.
Well, you asked the worst thing that happened. The worst thing that happened.
Related to the storm. I don't want
related
your
to the
personal
storm
life.
is I had to cook. You know, people that eat out every day, we suffered all this week.
I would make fun of you, but I feel your pain. I cooked like 6 meals. I was so sick of cooking.
We over it.
And I always shop healthy, so I got a lot of
Right.
chicken and salmon and vegetables, and I was like, I want a hamburger so bad. So I would, like I said, I would mock you, except I'd be mocking myself. But no, I mean, we have an infrastructure problem with the pipes. We don't. I don't think we have strong leadership on any level, to be as honest as we can. And if you're going to screw up the crime issue, I'm so sick of having conferences and committees and I don't care if it's just a street. And I understand we're strapped for cash or something. I don't care if they're using a GoFundMe. Can we just say this neighborhood's getting new pipes this year? Just a street.
Well, I would agree. There, Brent, that we got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
We got to start somewhere, and it seems as if this particular matter has been one of those instances where you just kick the can down the road and put it off until we face a catastrophe like we're in right now. So that's a major problem and a concern, and should be of every citizen here in the capital city.
Did you lose water?
My water is not all the way off, but I have no pressure. It's running at a very, very slow pace.
I lost water. I didn't lose it till yesterday. I lost it yesterday. Now, my office is in Ridgeland, across county line at 447 Hazard Law. You can call us at 601-977. You're laughing at the, let me get the tagline out.
Okay,
601-977-5253. But no, I mean, Ridgeland's fine. Jackson, I ran out of water. Of course, it was after using the facilities, so I went to flush, and, now I'm having to go scoop up water with a gallon bucket and stuff like that, and really appreciate your tax dollars that you're paying too much for going nowhere.
You didn't fill your tub up with water?
If I made it the first 2 days, I'm thinking Wednesday we're going to hit 36, I'm good. And I thought. But no, did you, Dad?
Yes, I did.
Okay, now I got it. Mike, fill your tub up.
No.
Wait,
So I'm the smartest person in the room.
that's the Delta thing. And well, from Greenville, I'm used to going to a ditch. We had ditches everywhere.
Sugar ditch.
Back me up, Bo.
Sugar
Back
ditch.
me up over there.
True.
Sugar ditch.
No, that's Tunica. Y'all think the Delta's one big.
I'm from the Delta too.
Yeah. That's not a black thing. One,
We used to
hang
doing all
on.
the work.
Janice, I gotta take this off. My glasses aren't working. But no, Janice is sitting here for the listeners who can't hear her. Randy's wonderful wife, who's
Thank you.
my assistant, who's scared to come on the mic. But she's saying it's.
You don't want me on the mic.
I mean, all we had was air and opportunity before the show. Took away that air. But with all that said, she's saying it's a black thing, and I'm saying no. In the '94 ice storm and stuff like that, we were scooping it from the pool, from the ditches. You know, my sister did not know that commodes were not electric. And, you know, I just walked outside and got a bucket full of rainwater, whatever, so your commodes could flush. But, yeah, that's not happening where I am now. But, Mike, you're living in Madison County. Is that correct, sir?
Correct.
Oh, they got everything.
Any trouble? No. Flora had a big issue with Rankin, and Flora had some electrical issues.
They're not medicine.
I know that, but I'm just saying, when you say Madison has any electrical or...
Lights flicker Wednesday night.
You in the county? You city?
City.
Okay, so you're in the Mary?
Well, that's what's it? Wolf. What's the Bear Creek is the water, and then Entergy is the.
Any complaints? Any issues?
Nothing.
I mean, to be fair to Jackson, the majority of the issues that we're having with pipes were built in 1930 or 1950. They're very old pipes.
That's true.
My criticism is not the pipes to the leadership; it's the lack of a plan. Because Baton Rouge has the same issue, and they have a plan where every neighborhood for 25 years will get new pipes. Now you have tax-based issues, but I mean, I'm thinking in 2021. With the Black Lives Matter movement and all these corporations donating and investing in the black communities, I haven't even seen a request from the city of Jackson trying to raise money. Now, maybe I'm missing it. Maybe, you know, let's be fair, but has anybody seen that?
No, I haven't.
Has anybody seen a plan on how the city of Jackson is going to come back? Or am I missing? No, wait. Dr. J, you live outside of Jackson in Hinds County, correct?
Yes.
Any issues with you out in the Boone Sticks?
No, our lights went off Tuesday night for 2 hours.
Okay.
I wasn't worried. I knew they was going to get these white folks' lights back on fast.
Wow.
That's what they really were thinking about. We got to get the white people's lights on immediately.
Yes, we can't have these good white people in the dark and cold.
Well, they have me without water. I guess I'm a bad white person. But anyway, moving on. Mike, looking at it from someone outside,
Gotcha.
Do you have any criticism of the city of Jackson? I mean, at some point, the leadership's going to say we're doing the best we can with what we have.
Okay, so as far as criticism, I mean, obviously, the bigger your town, the bigger your city, it usually makes responding to something that kind of came on kind of quickly more difficult. I think you saw it with like Dallas. They had, I mean, it was a massive.
But that's the state of Texas, and we're going to get into their utility grid.
Well, they still had they had the rolling blackouts. They also had I mean, their entire town was kind of thrown up. At least their highways were thrown into chaos for, you know, a couple of, 2 days?
Yeah.
I mean, so I guess everyone has a different response. As far as a complaint, I mean, it's a difficult situation. I don't know that anyone teaches you how to, you know, handle an ice storm that kind of creeps up on you. But
did it creep up, though?
I didn't know it was going to be this bad. Did you?
Well, no, and let me tell you, Mike, no one can ever anticipate the coming of an ice storm or an act of nature. However, the city of Jackson, Brent, infrastructure problems that do exist, I could say that now this is something that hasn't creeped up on everyone. It's been something that's been in existence for a while now, and it's something that we should have dealt with after we had the last problem with pipes busting all over the city.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I agree. I did not know. If you would have told me, I actually scheduled some things for Wednesday and Thursday in my legal practice, trying to get them done Wednesday and Thursday, and then I just said forget it when I'm fighting to get into my office and I'm on a little incline and my car was spinning. I said I'm just going to move for an extension till Monday, and most of the courts are closed, or you know, at least in the metro area till Monday. Right. So that I'll give credit where credit's due, or take my share of blame. I did not think it was going to be all week, but it goes back to what Randy said. I just haven't heard a plan to fix the pipes. I know about the water meter suit.
Right.
I know about the $90 million settlement. And like I said, I understand the city of Jackson might say we just have this budget with our fleeting tax base where we could fix one person's house a month or something, and or we're going to go per district and fix one street, whatever. And I mean, to me, fixing the roads while they're important, my understanding that a lot of the roads is because of the pipes leaking under the roads is why you're having these potholes. They're just going to come back until you fix the said infrastructure or the pipes. And I just haven't heard anybody address that. Now, Mike, looking out with 3 people running for mayor, Mike is actually strangely political, which throws me for a loop. Have you picked a candidate, or do you have someone you're liking? There's more than 3, but I think it comes down to 3 serious ones.
Yeah. To be honest, I listened to, you had what candidate on a couple weeks ago?
Patty Patterson.
And I thought she had a lot of energy, but I don't know a lot about her personally. I think she's a businesswoman in Jackson.
Well,
correct?
let me pause you there. Randy, why don't you tell us a little bit about Patty Patterson? Randy's a big supporter.
Well, I am a big supporter of Patty. My wife and I both support Patty in her campaign for mayor of the city of Jackson because Patty is a native Jacksonian. She come out of West Jackson. As a matter of fact, she announced her campaign over in the area where my wife and I both reside closely to right now, but where we were born and raised and grew up in. I'm talking about the edition, the doggone edition. Everyone wants to say Washington edition, but Washington edition is a very historic place in West Jackson, because it's formerly Gowdy, Mississippi.
Okay, are you promoting your festival or Patty? Because you kind of switched in midstream there. You take one at a time.
Well, it's like both are intertwined. Really, they're interconnected, and it's hard to separate the two, one from the other. But nevertheless, Patty is knowledgeable of activities that's going on in and around the Jackson area, and my wife and I, we think that she would be the ideal candidate to move Jackson forward and address some of these problems: infrastructure, crime, education, urban renewal, projects and such. So these are just some of the things that we will have to give Patty a chance to address properly, but these are things and issues that encourage Janice and I to support her moving forward and reaching out for what we call it, the bold new city, Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh, see, you lost me till the end, because, I mean, the current mayor, somehow how radical he wanted the city to be. I don't want to be the boldest. I don't want to be the most radical. I want my pipes to work, and I don't want any potholes, and I don't want anybody getting shot. That's what I want. I want standard boredom, moderate level of competence, because we haven't had that in so long. It's hurting us. But Mike, back to you. Now, to me, you have Patty, you have the current mayor, and you have Mr. Wilson. Is that the gentleman's name, the fireman?
His name is Ken Wilson, I believe it is.
Ken Wilson, who's an ex-fireman.
Right.
I hear good things about him. I think I actually talked to him once, but I don't know anything about him. Does anybody, have you picked the candidate to support from, or have you picked a favorite, or what's your prediction?
Well, I mean, obviously, I think the only candidate that I know anything about other than the current mayor, and knowing that I think Mr. Wilson was a fireman, is Patty. So, I mean, she'd have to be it. I mean, I think that Jackson needs a change, but I don't know that other than the 3 you mentioned, that's the only thing I know.
Dr. J, have you?
I live in the city of Byram.
Once again, have you noticed a candidate as someone caught what in your eye, or you just giving up on the city, our capital city?
In the city of Byram, there is a young lady named Dr. Roshonda Harris Allen running for Board of Alderman, and I'm going to support her.
For City of Jackson mayor?
For the Board
I don't think that's legal. I mean, there might be some voter fraud
Yeah,
there.
that's a violation of some statute.
Okay,
For the
there might
Board
be
of
some
Alderman
issues
in
there.
Byram.
Brent, if I may, let me sort of touch on a couple of things that you just mentioned when I said the bold new city. And speaking of Patty Patterson, when I speak of the bold new city,
Okay, we done with the infomercial.
Well,
okay,
well,
I'm just letting you. I'm interrupting you.
Wait,
If you
I know
both
you are.
okay. I'm just saying.
I know you are,
I gave you out of respect, but don't be talking about bold new when we can't get people.
I'm telling you why I
Okay.
use that terminology in referring to Jackson. I'm talking about a city that everyone, a diverse city, such as Jackson, that everyone can get together and work together, one plan, move forward.
When did Jackson become diverse?
Oh, Jackson been diverse.
Oh, Jackson
Oh,
ain't been
yeah.
diverse for a while.
Well, Jackson is definitely diverse. It may be predominantly black, but undercover it is diverse, and we need to learn to work together because that's one of the issues that can probably settle some of the crime issues that we have here in the city.
Right now, I'm going by Jackson, Mississippi Data USA.
Yeah, there
It
you
says
go.
African Americans 81%. I would not call any city made up of any ethnic group 81% diverse. Now, I agree we need to work together, Randy.
Okay,
But I'm just
okay.
saying diverse, I think, that's like calling Rankin County diverse. It ain't.
Well, statistics. Who put together the statistics? Who put together those?
Are you questioning that Jackson's a majority African American city?
No, by no means. I'm not.
So, what are you questioning?
What I'm diverse. That's what I'm questioning.
So you're saying 81% is
diverse.
diverse?
No, it's not diverse according to those statistics. But
I'm using the Census Bureau.
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Census.gov.
That's what I'm talking about.
You saying there's a conspiracy there, Donald?
Well, do you believe everyone completed the census?
No, but I think right here, this says, hang on, I'm going somewhere else.
Okay, we're ready.
I know,
We're riding with you.
I appreciate that,
Yeah.
but no, I mean, I don't even think it's a question that Jackson. I think one of the problems is the lack of diversity throughout the state, that we're still living somewhat in a village mentality, and we're not looking at, you can live in Ridgeland, you can live in Madison, you can live in wherever. No one knows where those cities are. When you're out of the state, and Mike, I hate to give Gatling credit. Gatling's one of the premier arson attorneys in the state. I know he's traveling, but when you're out and about, and you say I'm from Madison or Ridgeland or wherever you're from, everybody knows Jackson. Jackson is our capital city. That's how they relate to us. So a bad capital city reflects on us all, unless you're going to stay in the county you were born and never travel. But when big business comes in, they're usually going to fly into Jackson, maybe Memphis, things like that. But we can't have our capital city going through what's going now. So I agree with you on unity,
Okay.
and things like that. But I mean, Mississippi, we're a segregated state, and that's just what it is. But Mike, if you were looking at the situation, what would be the main issue you think as a person? You've handled a lot of arson cases. Well, introduce your legal practice to the audience, sir.
Oh, Mike Gatling, Defender of Justice, out of Madison, Mississippi.
Defender of justice. Talking about
Is it white justice or black justice?
All justice.
Wow. I mean, I don't think I've had more of a racist producer in my life on radio. White justice or black justice. But then she moves to Byron with the white people, talking about the white energy out there.
Hey, I was annexed in. I have moved to Jackson. They annexed us to Byron.
I have to look at that case. I don't think that's how that worked
Yes,
out.
that's
I think
how
there
it
was a
was.
suit about it, and then Byram got annexed, but I don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It was Jackson first, then they changed to Byron.
I thought it was Hines County. out
I've been there 15 years.
Moving back? I guess not. There's a lot of good property I can get you. No water. It has some potholes. But go ahead, Mike. What would be the number one concern looking out how Jackson should address?
I mean, infrastructure, obviously that comes to the forefront when you have a catastrophe like you had this week. But, I mean, look from outside looking in, crime is the murder rate is it's just unacceptable. I don't know how you fix it, but that's definitely something that if I were to be coming in to be mayor, that would be something I would have to look at. The people, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, there are times you come into Jackson, you're like, should I stay here? Should I, maybe time when I get there. You just have to worry about that stuff. I don't think that's unreasonable at all. But that's kind of what you have to deal with. But it is the optics of it right now. Looks like Jackson's pretty dangerous.
Okay, Dr. J, when you're at home cooking, what were you streaming?
What did I watch? A lot of news. I also watched.
Your life is miserable if you're watching a lot of news.
I watched. What did I watch?
We'll come back. Randy, what are you watching at home? Are you a streamer? Are you a TV watcher? For those who do not know, let's give a shout out to your radio program. You're on WNPR at what time?
On Tuesday nights from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And my moniker that everyone knows, I'm the one. I'll sock it to you, baby. Miss Wild.
We have a 3 sock it to me, baby limit on this show. So you can 2. Oh, no, wait a minute. I have the honor of representing Randy and his lovely bride in a couple of court cases. And in one proceeding, and wait, did you say wife? I can't call her bride.
Wife.
No. She got upset with bride last time.
I gotta live.
Okay.
Don't stir
I'm sorry.
Don't stir that pot.
I didn't know bride was a bad word.
No.